You are welcome to this very short course where I teach you how to make the most of all the knowledge or the value you've gotten from your courses, from the books, from the training, from the events that you have gone to. Okay, so this is a video where I teach you how to go from knowledge to action. My name is Blessing Ukibi and I am a personal branding strategist. So you might be wondering, okay, you're a personal branding strategist, why are you recording this video? Well, I found out that a lot of people actually find it difficult to learn and to act upon what they learn. So they keep buying courses, they keep buying trainings, they keep going for events, and in months, weeks, years, they're still where they are. So I thought of, okay, even if this is not, this will also help you for your personal brand though, but even if this is not like on brand, let me still teach people how I have been able to, work on the knowledge I've gotten for visibility, just for my personal brand, to invest in my personal brand. Okay, so that is the essence of this video. Now, it will be an irony that you watch this video where I teach you how to go from knowledge to action and you still don't act upon what I teach you in this video. That will be the irony of everything. Okay, but I'm sure that won't be you. Okay, so like I said, this is a short video, and at the end of this video you will be able to receive guidelines. Now these guidelines are personalized. When I was creating the resources, when I was putting my thoughts together for this video, I decided to check on Google if I could see anything that could help. So I didn't just want to write down resources, I wanted to check what others have said about it, and I couldn't really find anything. Okay, so everything I'm going to teach you today is something that comes from me. You won't find it anywhere else. You won't find it on Google. You won't find it in any training. This is something I do. This is my personalized strategies, okay, to move from learning a lot to acting upon what I've learned to get me results. Okay, so at this point, you need to get your writing materials, your paper and your pen. If you don't have your paper or your pen, please just pause this video or watch it another time, please, so that you don't keep making the same mistake, because you're going to need it. All right, so, and also you might see me looking down. That's because I have a book where I articulated my thoughts so that I can be able to deliver this chronologically, like orderly. All right, so are you ready for this? Awesome, good. Now, first of all, like I said, this video it's not a course, so it's a video. It's focused on one thing: to help you get results from the courses, from the lessons that you've learned. Now, I know two things about you watching this video, so you either fall in any of these categories that I'm about to mention now. So number one is that you're overwhelmed because there's so much to learn, there's so much skill, there are so many skills to acquire, there are so many things you want to learn how to do. There's Google, YouTube, Facebook courses, what they free and they pay, then you're like, where do I even start from? So you're overwhelmed. So it's like there's so much to learn and there's so little time. That is the first category. Now the second category is that you've been learning and learning, but you're still stuck. So it's not like you yes, you might still be overwhelmed, but you are actually learning, but you don't know how to get started. So you finish learning and you're like, okay, what do I do at this point? What do I do at this point? So you don't know how to get started. I don't know which of the category that you fall into, but I know you fall into any of these categories, or even both of the categories. So if you fall into these categories, this video is for you. If you don't fall into any of these categories, you can go and do something else with your time. But if you fall into any of these categories, this video is for you. So now, why did I create this video? Why did I decide? Just like I mentioned before, I created this video because there's so much knowledge out there. I have been in a state where I've been overwhelmed. Like, there's so much to learn. I might decide to start taking this course at this point, and before I know it, I see something else I want to learn. I see another thing else I want to learn, and I'm like, how am I going to learn all these things in so little time? So there's so much to learn out there, and if you're not careful and intentional, you keep becoming a consumer with no results. You can write that down. There's so much to learn out there, and if you're not careful and intentional, you keep being a consumer with no results. So you keep learning, but after spending huge amounts of money on courses, after spending a lot of time learning, people see no results from you. So, for example, you've taken courses on how to make 100,000 naira monthly. You've taken many courses on investing, and you're still in quote poor in quotes. Okay, so that is why I created this video. Okay, so let's just dive right in. So now, how do you make the most of your courses, of your training, of everything you've learned? Number one is that it starts before you even start consuming. So this is not, this video is everything I'm going to talk about in this video doesn't start when you're done taking the courses and everything. No, it starts when, before you even start taking the courses. Okay, so this is probably for future courses or trainings you want to take. But even if you've taken some courses, I'm sure there's also something here for you, especially during the last part. But usually everything I'm going to talk about right now starts before you start taking these courses. Okay, before you start going for these trainings. So number one is that you must be intentional. You must be intentional. I know what you being intentional means, that you know the exact thing that you want. You're not just taking whatever life brings at you. You're not just consuming anything that comes to you. You know exactly what you want, and you know how to go for it. So that is the first key thing. Okay, you can be distracted by knowledge, but when you're intentional, you're not just consuming any knowledge. Though yes, you need to learn. And let me mention this. We have active learning and passive learning. Okay, so passive learning is learning randomly, probably anything. But active learning is when you're intentional about it. So this is my focus for this video. Okay, so I'm not saying that when you that the fact that being intentional means that you can't consume things anywhere else. Okay, but being intentional means that you know the exact knowledge you want to acquire, and you know how to go about it. Which brings us to the second thing I want to talk about, which is clarity on your learning goals. What and why you need to learn. This is where a lot of people actually get it wrong. Okay, they don't know exactly what they want to learn. If you ask them, okay, what are your learning goals, they don't even know about it. They don't even know how to go about it. They don't even know. They just know that they need knowledge. They just know that they need skills, but they don't know the exact skills. They don't know how to go. They don't even know why they need those skills. So this is very important. Before you get started, ask yourself, oh, like, okay, at this current level I am, what do I need? What skill do I need to acquire? What knowledge do I need to get for my business? So look at your business. Don't just consume knowledge. Don't just buy courses because, oh, it looks like it's a good course to buy. No, you need to be definite on your why. So what are the skills? What are the knowledge you need at this moment to go from this level you are to the next level? Write them down. So it can be you need to master, if it's a skill, it can be you need to master copywriting. It might be you need to master content creation. It might be you need to learn how to network. It might be you need to learn how to, whatever it is, you need to be clear on it. That is the first step. So look at your current level, and you need to be very honest with yourself. What are your learning goals in the next 3 to 6 months? What are the skills that you want to acquire? So for example, this year I know there are 3 major skills I want to acquire, which is art, copywriting, and what's the third one? I think SEO. 3 digital skills that I want to acquire when it comes to, so apart from my digital skills, there are other soft skills that I want to acquire. Okay, so I'm clear on the kind of knowledge I want. I'm clear on the skills I want to acquire. And why am I clear on it? Because because I have a strong why to it. So why do I want to learn these 3 skills? Because I need it for my brand. I need it for my personal business. I need it to make more income. I want to be able to accelerate my income. I want to be able to make money without being involved in the business. I want to be able to sleep and wake up to credit alerts. This is why I'm learning arts. You understand? This is probably why I'm learning arts. So I'm just going to use arts for an example. So this is my why for learning art. So for whatever skill, for whatever knowledge that you've listed out that you need to go from this level to the other level, why are you learning such skill? What is the why behind it? Because if you don't have a strong why, it's not going to work. That's just the truth. If you don't have a strong why, it's not going to work. So if it's it for your business, so for example, you want to learn copyright. Okay, did I mention copywriting? Yeah. So maybe you want to learn copywriting. Your why is because you want to be able to make more sales, because you want to increase your income. That is your why. So for every skill, for every knowledge you wrote down, they write your why. So you want to learn how to network. Why? So that you'll be able to connect with more people, to get access to more opportunities, and to build relationships. That is the why. Okay, that is a why. So number one, I said you need to be intentional. Number two, I said you need to be clear on your learning goals, the what and the why of whatever you want to learn. So this is a goal. You need to treat, to make the most out of the knowledge or the resources that you want to, that you're getting. You need to treat it as a goal, not just as something you do randomly. As a goal, you know how you set goals for your business, how you set goals for whatever it is. You need to set goals for your personal development, for your personal growth. And this is why I said be clear on your learning goals, the what and the why. Okay, number two is, okay, number three now is that you've mentioned all the things you want to learn. You've mentioned, okay, why you want to learn it. Now you cannot start everything at once. It's not possible. So for someone like me, because I've been doing this over time, I can focus on two skills at the same time, but I would advise you to just pick one. So which one is the most pressing at this point? Like, which one is the most pressing? Which one is that one that you really need at this point, maybe for your business or for your person? Is it public speaking? Which one is the most pressing at this point? Pick that one out and look for resources that are aligned to that one. Okay, so focus on a specific resource for a period of time. Don't, because maybe you listed 5 things, you now start with all 5. No, just pick one at most, which I still don't advise. You can go with 2, but I highly recommend that you pick just one, and then you set a timeline to it. Now the timeline you're going to set is going to depend on the resource you're going to get for it. Okay, on the resource you're going to get for. So one thing I usually do is, when I get a course, I usually span through to see, okay, how long is it probably going to take me. So sometimes I might just look at the videos to be like, okay, there are 3 videos there. One is 1 hour, one is 1 hour 30 minutes, one is this one. So I know how much time is going to take me. It's going to take me to consume everything. So using that time, I now set a period of time. Okay, I now set a duration. Bless you, you have 1 week to go through this course. You understand what I'm trying to say? Let's say you have 1 week to go to this course. So whenever I am planning my activities, my goals for the month, I have a personal development goal. I have a personal development goal. I wanted to bring out my book to show you, but I don't think that will be nice. I have a personal development goal. So in the month of April now, I have a bunch of courses I have bought over the years. In the month of April, I decided I was going to focus on 2 of them. And I said week 1, I was going to focus on 1, which I'm done. Week 2, which is this week right now, this is the 2nd week of April, I'm focusing on another one. I'm almost done with it. It's week 3. So you see how this works. Okay, so focus on a specific resource and learn from it over a period of time, which now brings us to the fourth, which is to have a deadline and a plan to that deadline. This is very important. So I say, bless you, you need to finish this course you bought from this person in 1 week. How am I going to finish it in 1 week? I usually break. So if I know that it's going to take me 7 hours to finish all the courses, I can say, okay, each day I'm going to take 1 hour. Each day I'm going to take 1 hour. Now I'm very true to myself to know that there are some days I may not be able to do that 1 hour. So I can now decide, okay, Monday, Wednesday, based on my schedule. So you know what your schedule and you know what works for you. Based on my schedule, I can say, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I can take 2 hours to finish this course. So be honest to yourself, know your schedule and know what period of time do you have to take this course. So in my schedule, because I'm very intentional about planning and scheduling, I have a place. So it says 7 to 9 is when I take my course. So which time this comes from, or this also comes from when you learn the most. Me, I learn the most in the evening or in the early hours of the morning. So when is that period that when something enters your brain, when you read something, it just enters your brain. Remember those times you read for exam? When is that moment? You understand? So you can schedule it along that, in line with that. Alright, so if you speculated that, okay, it's going to take you 10 hours to finish this, you can say, okay, I'm going to do 2 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Friday, 2 hours on Saturday, and if you don't know how long it's going to take, that's totally okay. So there's courses that I've gotten. For example, if I want to read a book, I don't know how long it's probably going to take me. So I can say, okay, let me see how much I can cover in a week, and then from that week, I know how long it's probably going to take me to finish it. You get? So it might not be sure from the onset, but when you read it, when you consume it for a period of time, you know, like, okay, if this is a 300-page book and in 30 minutes I was able to finish 10 pages, you can now do the math to know how long it's going to take you. Now I need to let you know, when you're doing schedule, don't make it tight. Leave some gaps just in case that there are days when you're not able to meet up. Let them be some gaps for it. So for example, I have a 7-hour course, and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to take it 2 hours each day from Monday to Friday. Now 2 hours each day from Monday to Friday is 10 hours. Okay, so it's way more than enough for me to take the 7-hour course. But I know that, and I know I did the 10 hours because one day I might not be able to meet up. I'm very honest with myself. So there's, even if I miss out on Wednesday, I know I still have Thursday and Friday to catch up. So do you understand what I'm saying? Awesome, good. So that is the fourth one, to have a deadline and a plan to that deadline. Now you've set everything, you know the resource you need, you know why you're consuming that resource, you have your focus on just that one, you have a deadline, you have a plan to that deadline. What is the next thing? Now when you start taking this course, or why am I just saying course, when you start learning, I suggest you don't have one book with you but two. I do this and I want to teach you. So I normally have two books whenever I'm learning something, because whenever I'm learning something, I don't know if it happens to you, whenever I'm learning something, first of all, I learn what the person is teaching me, and I learn what the person is not teaching me. I don't know if you understand. So for the religious folks, this might be, they normally say some things are taught, some things are caught. Hallelujah. Okay, so at times when I'm learning from a course, and then I get an instant idea that is not necessarily what the person is teaching me. You get, what do? I write this down in an extra book. So I have a book where I jot down all my ideas, all the things that I want to do. Then I'm like, I need to do them sometime for my personal brand or for anything. I have where I write that down, and I also have a place where I write down what I actually learn. So this might happen to you as well, because if I write these ideas down in where I actually learn, I might get mixed up. You get, so that's why I advise have two books. One where you write whatever it is that you learned. And trust me, jotting down is good. Don't just say you're going to carry it on your head. No, please. If you're intentional about your personal growth, you need to be able to jot down things. This is why I said that this is active learning that I'm talking about. So possibly if it's passive learning, maybe you're just listening to a podcast when going to work, this might not really matter. But if this is something you're intentional about, you need to jot down. So I have two books, one where you write down what you learned, and two where you write the ideas. Now when you're done with this is now where everything gets juicier. When you're done with this, when you're done with the course, see what you need to do to be able to make the most of that course. Write down actionable steps. Like when I say actionable steps, I'm telling you to be specific. So after taking this course, what are the things that you need to do? What are the things that you can start doing ASAP? Write it down. If that course is really valuable, this will be clear to you. So write it down. What are the specific things you need to do? So I'm going to make an example with this course now. So for example, if I'm not the one teaching, I just got this course and I need to write actionable steps from this video that you're just watching, I can say number one is to identify my learning goals. I talked about learning goals as one of the ways. So number one, I will now ask myself, okay, Blessing, what are your learning goals? That's one actionable step. So to define my learning goals. Number two is to get resources that match these goals. So if one of my learning goals is public speaking, and I'll be like, okay, Blessing, who are the people that you can get resources on public speaking from? So I now get maybe two names, and I say reach out to them on Monday or on Tuesday. Then number three I can be is like focus on that one on it for a period of time. So I can now say, okay, so once I get this public speaking course, I'm going on the 3rd week of April, I'm going to dedicate 1 hour to it every single day. These are actionable steps. So I'm giving you an example from this video. You can do from your own, from whatever resource. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. They just learn, write down things they've learned, and they don't write down actionable steps. Now, actionable steps, you don't even need to wait till the end of the course to write these actionable steps. From every module or video you watch. That's why those book of ideas is really important. It's really important because that's where I actually write my actionable steps. So from every video I have an actionable step. I have, okay, what am I going to start doing? What are the next steps? Specific, please. The key word here is specific. You need to be extra specific on what you want to, on the next steps you need to take, so that it will be clear to you, okay, this is the exact thing that I have to do at this point. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Good. So what are the actionable steps? And make sure as you're writing down these actionable steps, you're giving it a deadline. So don't just write actionable steps. No, give it a deadline. When are you going to take these steps? So for me, if I say, okay, number one is to identify my learning goals, I can identify my learning goals at this point. Number two is to reach out to people who have resources for this my learning goals. I can say, okay, tomorrow I'll reach out to this person, I'll reach out to this person. Or if I don't have the budget for it, I can say, okay, tomorrow I'll start learning YouTube videos. Maybe I'll dedicate 1 hour a day to YouTube videos to learn about it. So you need to have deadline for it. This is how you can make the most of it, and this is where the meat is. Do not take any course, any resource without writing down actionable steps that you can use to make the most of that course. Make sure these steps are specific and have a deadline. Okay, when you do this, as you do it, gradually come back to review it once in a while. Come back to review it. So what I can do is I can write down these actionable steps and make it a list. Once I take it and I take any step, I'll tick it good. I know, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and that is basically it. Once you're able to do it, trust me, you'll be able to make the most out of whatever it is that you learned. All right. So like I said, I'm just here to give you a guide. This is not going to magically, this is not magic. You still need to put in the work, but I've made it easier for you to actually put in the work. And why? And I made this easier, like by first of all telling you to identify your learning goals, to be intentional, to be focused on one resource over a period of time, to have 2 books when you're learning, to have a deadline, to have a plan to that deadline. And I also told you to write actionable steps. So for these actionable steps, when you write them down, you're not going to work themselves. You still have to put in the work. But what I've done is that I've made it easier, way more easier for you. Now this is supposed to be the end of this video, but just before we go, I think I have 5 things I just want to say as regards to learning or investing in yourself. These are just 5 random things that I couldn't fix anywhere else. Okay, so number 1 is that do not expect instant results. There are courses that I took last 2 years. I'm just seeing the result now. Okay, so for the fact that the person that taught you told you that okay, when you learn this course you'll be able to make 100,000 naira per month, remember there are variables. That person's circumstance or situation, it might not be the same with yours. There are some mistakes that you make when you start despite taking that course. So don't expect instant results. You need to put the work, you need to put in the work over a period of time. Okay, that is number 1. Number 2 is some knowledge gotten are not for now but for some time in the future. Okay, there are some things that I've taken, there are some courses that I took that didn't make sense to me. Because now, sometime in the future that maybe I was going through a problem or a challenge, I'm like, okay, and I remembered something like, okay, so this is what this guy was saying that time. So there are some things that may not make sense to you at this point, and that is totally fine. Don't fret about it, okay? The courses are there, you can always go via it. Sometime in future, it will make sense, all right? Number 3 is to put everything you learn to context. Put everything you learn to context. Something may work for someone and can still work for you, but it may not work for you the same way it works for that person. So that's why whatever you learn, don't just learn, carry and go. Ask yourself, this knowledge that I've gotten, how can I customize it to suit me? So probably someone said the person ran ads. Let's say you're learning about Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and the person is like, to get the results, the person has a daily ad budget of 10,000 naira, and you don't have 10,000 naira. You cannot go and kill yourself. You understand? You can start with 1,000. You can start with 2,000. And when you're starting with 2,000, 3,000, and you're skinny, of course you're not expecting the same results with that person. Okay, so whatever you learn, customize it to yourself and see what can work for you at first. Stop waiting till you get that 10,000 naira before you start working. I'm sure you get the point. Number 4 is if you want to get close. Now there are a lot of us that want to get closer to that. One of the reasons we buy courses or we attend events is that we want to get close to the person, and that is totally fine. So one thing I can help you, or one thing I can teach you is this: when you buy the course and you take these courses, see how you can get, because people want serious minded people. So do a comprehensive, especially if that course is really valuable, do a comprehensive review of that course for the person. Then tell the person your action steps or what you intend to do. You might not necessarily even tell the person what you intend to do. You can just send in a comprehensive review. Then to go and do your part and go and act upon it, and then come and show the person your results, your gradual result. Trust me, people will want to help you if they see you're helping yourself. All right, so don't just take the course and go and feel like the person will keep checking up on you. I do that, but not everybody will keep checking up on you, especially, you understand? So but give that person a comprehensive review. Don't just write, I got value from this course, thank you so much, it was more. No, write it like a letter. People love letters. You understand? People, and I'm saying this, if that course is really, 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 really valuable, and you got a lot of value from it, write it. Take your time to write a comprehensive review from that person. Trust me, you touch a chord in that person's side, because not a lot of people have that time to give that comprehensive review. Number two is to go and act on what the person taught you and come and show them your result. They'll see that you're serious, and this can be the connection between both of you. So I've given you one thing that you can start doing. Then number five on random things I think you should know is to document your processes. Okay, so you're able to get that course from that person because the person documented his or her processes, and you need to document yours. So as you start acting upon whatever knowledge you learn, what are the things that worked for you? What are the things that did not work for you? What are the things you feel you should have done better? What are the wins you got? Where are the challenges? Everything, document it. Get a book. I do this a lot and I preach it a lot. So get a book. Make sure you write all these things down, and trust me, you will be so happy you did sometime in future. So guys, this is the end of this video. I promise this would be extra short, so I don't know how long this is. But it shouldn't be more than 30 minutes. There shouldn't be more than 30 minutes. Let me know your actionable steps exactly from this video. You can send it to me on WhatsApp 090-730-792-11, or you can send it to me on via email okbeblessedifegu@gmail.com. Okay, whatever way you want to contact me, do let me know. And if you have feedback from this course, if this course has helped you, please, I would really appreciate your feedback. I remember Blessing Okebe, and did I tell you what I do? Okay, I work with experienced individuals to increase their visibility, position for opportunities, and make an extra source of income through their expertise, their knowledge, or their story. All right, that is what I do professionally, and I recorded this course to help you make the most of your personal development practices. Thank you so much for staying here up until this point, and I wish you the very, very best. Signing out.